of Uganda.
Get an unsecured bid bond from KCB of up to 200 million shillings.
So now, according to projections by the Energy Ministry, the oil and gas sector is expected to take off in a major way in 2022. At a minimum, we will see construction works on the refinery as well as other plants. However, for one to operate in the oil belt, one will need to have attained international certification in their chosen expertise. Tonight, we intend to look at how much progress we have made in attaining international certification, following a requirement by the Energy Ministry that every farm working there would need a minimum. Now, a minimum of 40% of local content, and of course, Ugandans without appropriate competencies will work there. To discuss this is the Education Ministry's Oil and Gas Projects Coordinator. Welcome to our studios tonight.
Thank you.
I want to first of all ask you something that I believe everyone wants to know tonight. Do you think, as the ministry, you have done enough to make sure that people know that you need an international certification to be able to work in the oil and gas sector?
Thank you, Sandra. Good evening, viewers. Ministry of Education has done a lot. For example, Uganda Petroleum Institute Kigumba is already accredited internationally, and it is already taking on people who are satisfied. And also, Ministry of Education has accredited other private institutions which are international accredited, like TASCS, the Assessment and Skills Training Center. We also have Chichwamba, UTC Chichwamba, which is also having sit and guilds accreditation, and many other Ugandans have already gone abroad independently and got certification. But what I want the Ugandans to know is that the skills required are already in Uganda. What was lacking was international certification, and that is what ministry is emphasizing. Right now, other 6 colleges are almost getting international accreditation, and we have 18 which are lined up for next financial year, both public and private institutions. And when we get them certified and accredited, that means even Ugandans who already qualify at university level, at diploma and certificates, they will already be going into those institutions for just short courses, and then they get accreditation.
You talk of emphasizing, as the ministry, you've tried to emphasize the fact that people need to get international certification. And maybe my concern is, are people, like I initially asked, are people really aware that they really need to get this international certification? Do they know? How have you communicated to the people? Have you put out adverts? Have you gone on radio to speak about it? Have you come on TV to speak about it? So that people know that you really need this international certification, because people are excited. They're very excited for this oil and gas sector, and they're eager to come with their papers and say, here I am, I can do this, I can do the other. But do they really know that they need the international certification?
Thank you. Surprisingly, people know.
Okay.
And right now I'm here, you've invited me, and viewers are listening. We have also, together with Petroleum Authority of Uganda, we have sensitization campaigns. Even at the Ministry of Education, right now, we are telling every institution that if it is possible, they all get accredited.
Okay.
So that means in the future, even without oil and gas, most of our graduates, certificate, diploma, and university degrees, they will be certified. The beauty with the courses done for oil and gas, you can work in other areas. You know, what we want to emphasize Ugandans to understand, it is only few jobs which are directly oil and gas.
Okay.
Most of the jobs are indirectly connected with oil and gas.
So those jobs that are indirectly connected to oil and gas, will they also need certification to be able to work in the same area?
Some actually don't need the certification we are talking about.
Okay.
They only need international standards. And in that one, like for example, I'll give you like service industry. Service industry, you need to be offering services that are up to the international standards. So in that regard, we are encouraging Ugandans to change the attitude. So indirectly and in these jobs, they are not specifically that they need that like sit-and guilds, that ECTB, like,
yes,
you know, American welding. Okay. Those ones are more indirect jobs.
Okay, let me get one thing straight. As someone who would want to start maybe a pharmacy or a clinic, are you indirectly connected to the oil and gas?
Yes, that is now the indirect jobs. Induced jobs are indirect jobs are those ones which are going to serve the people who are directly working in the industry.
But now this is maybe should I say a pharmacist or a doctor or a nurse that is going to be giving services to the workers in the oil and gas sector. How does that work? What does it take me? What will it need to take me to be able to work there? Will I just meet the international standards that you're saying, or I will also need some sort of certification? You
need some improved standards.
But how will they
now, how they are getting them? We have encouraged institutions to pattern. Actually, what it takes in local content now is to have international linkages, like partnerships. I'll give an example of Bukarasa Agriculture College. That is not petroleum. But Bukarasa Agriculture College and the Ministry of Education, we have now partnered it with Dalhousie University in Canada, and it will be accredited and give diplomas that are international accredited. So that is increasing the standard.
So if I may ask you, would you be open enough to say there are certain gaps that we have in this situation? You know, are there any gaps that you would say we have?
The gaps are there, but they are few compared to the span.
To the span.
Because we are talking of 10 years. 10 years from now. 10 years from now. So, when you look at the numbers required, they would be as if they are very many if they are to be required right now. But 10 years is when we need all that.
Yes.
Those numbers.
Those numbers. So as we start now, should Ugandans be expectant that they are going to get jobs? Should they be eager? Should they look forward to 2021 when we'll have the oil and gas as starting off?
Surprisingly, some have already got those jobs. Actually, Petroleum Authority Uganda puts it at, I think, around 76% of Ugandans are already employed in the sector. Because you'll find that, like in Total, almost out of 92 workers, around I think 56 are Ugandans. So right now I would want to encourage Ugandans to do a lot because the jobs,
in terms of getting international certification. Okay.
Because the jobs are there and more are coming.
More coming.
As long as they are ready. And also to change the attitude. Because most Ugandans, it is not the skills, not the certification, but the attitude, which is not good.
Okay, so basically you're telling Ugandans that they should work on their attitudes for them to be able to get the jobs in the oil and gas sector. And maybe finally, before I let you go, should, as a Ugandan who's out there trying to get a job, apart from the attitude and the international certification, for them to favorably compete with the other people that will be coming in, apparently there's a worry that international people could take over the different positions. What exactly can they do to stand out?
Depending on which level someone is, first of all is to watch out.
Okay.
Because at times Ugandans have that move of going into one field and they overflood it. So I think Ugandans, especially the youth, have to be at the lookout, first of all, to look at which jobs, which we already have, because we have our workforce skills development strategy and plan for the next 10 years. The jobs which are there are known. So it's a matter of getting good counseling and guidance, and then they go for those jobs that are for us, because there are jobs which are at the expatriate level, which will be ready in the next 5 years.
Yes.
But the ones at the lower level, they are already there, and they are for take-up.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Loy Abinemhuis, for coming to give us a bit of hope that we can actually be part of this industry once it sets off. Thank you so much for joining us on Talk of the Nation. Keep it NTV. Now moving on with NTV Weekend edition.